If you're new on YouTube and seeking advice, have you already noticed that it seems like everybody gives the same advice? Find a question that viewers want to have answered, make a video to answer that question, solve that problem. You get views, you succeed. But then the people who take that advice turn around and teach that advice to the next generation, who then follows that advice and teaches it again. The next thing you know, we're in an endless loop of people giving the same advice, taking the same advice, and everything starts to look kind of the same. Recently, I looked into what is the name of that process, and it's known as recursive instruction, where people learn a process from other people who have already succeeded in that process by learning it from somebody else who had done it before them. And honestly, YouTube might be one of the best examples of it. If you search how to succeed on YouTube, you'll find countless videos of people giving the advice that they took when they were new, and in teaching that advice to you, they're getting views and they're becoming successful, thus forming that loop. So realizing this got me wondering, is this actually a good form of instruction? Or is it just a path that leads to everybody creating the same kind of content? I really don't think this process is inherently bad. In fact, recursive instruction can be extremely useful at times. It's really how many skills in life are learned. You observe, you imitate, you repeat, and through those repetitions, you improve. But the real problem is what happens when imitation seems to be the only goal, or at least the only outcome. Because eventually, everybody is optimizing for the same algorithm, for the same viewers, the same interests, even the same opinion. And once enough people are doing it, the whole platform starts to seem saturated. You stop hearing unique voices, but you start hearing variations of the same thing. But the reason that this system works is because it actually does provide results, positive results, temporarily. If millions of people are actually searching, how do I succeed on YouTube? Then naturally making videos that explain how to succeed on YouTube are going to get clicks, they're going to get views, and that's going to be successful for you. And that advice is self-validating. By getting people to watch your video, you've succeeded, proving that that method works. And then your viewers copy it, which creates even more videos teaching the same thing that you just taught. I think the problem really comes in when it just becomes a shallow repetition instead of a deeper understanding. Because there's a big difference between here's a formula you can follow versus here's why this formula works. Good education should teach people to think critically and figure out how to adapt to changing situations. Shortcut education just leads to replication. And of course, replication without reflection just leads to sameness. So the question is, how do I break out of that cycle while still successfully building an audience? I think it comes down to a few different things. First, stop trying to sound like a successful YouTuber. Focus on trying to sound like yourself. You're an individual, you have something to offer that other people don't. Figure out what it is, develop that, and work on that. Second, use trends as tools, but not your identity. There's nothing wrong with wanting to understand what people are searching for. But if your entire creative process starts and ends with the analytics, you lose your personality. Third, lean into specificity. The internet is full of generic advice, but deeply personal observations, unusual experiences, and honest perspectives are actually incredibly rare. Ironically, originality often comes from talking about ordinary things in a genuinely human way. And really, that's what I've always wanted this channel to become. I don't need to teach anybody how to be successful. I don't even know. I don't want it to be just another place of chasing trends and pretending to have all the answers. I want it to be more like a running conversation, a place where I can think out loud, to explore ideas that come up through casual conversations or experiences and random observations. Sometimes those ideas might be philosophical, sometimes practical, and sometimes completely spontaneous. I'll just hit record and talk, but hopefully they always feel real. And maybe that's the strange balance creators are all trying to find now. How do you learn from the system without totally being shaped by it? And how do we grow an audience without totally losing our voice in the midst of it? Please subscribe to the channel and join me in future conversations. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.